How big was that field goal by Jake?
It was big. It was really big, actually. Especially after he got hit and he was banged up, and the words that Jake told me, he said, "I'm going to fight through this." And to hit that from your kicker is really big. It really gets you pumped up.
Let's talk about what you're feeling as a player
we just got to continue to grow. Continue to get better, clean up a lot of things that probably went wrong. I think we had a couple plays that we definitely would like to have back. Maybe some communication things early in the game from us, and the fans were really loud, so it's kind of hard for us to get the call from TJ.
What has the last 2 weeks, the last 2 games meant to specifically the guys up front in terms of the way you've been able to get after the quarterback and confidence alongside each other?
I think it really starts in practice, and it means a lot to each and every guy in that room. It doesn't matter who it is, if it's Jordan or Marlon or or Marlon or Marvin, or it don't matter. We got Marlon, Marvin, we got a lot of guys, but BG, it's important that we have those conversations, and that's the thing about it. We have those conversations, and we're really hard on each other, believe it or not, in practice.
Was there anything, and apologies to already asked, was there anything you were seeing from Trevor Lawrence today that was allowing you guys to kind of force the types of turnovers that you were able to get out of him today?
Well, we just played our game, honestly. We just come out and, we obviously, I just talked about it. We see the ball and, coming up on a sack. We would rather have the ball instead of just the big hit on the quarterback, right? You get the strips, you get the sack, and you get the forced fumble. So I think that's the biggest thing for us, getting our offense to get the ball back and putting our offense in position to score. He's been good for us. He's been good. I mean, he first got here, and my first time, I came here for a few weeks, for probably a week in the off season, and me and him worked out together. And we actually work out together during the week, and you can see how hungry he is, and how much he wants to win, and how hard he works, and everything, and it's showing off.
Fletch, what did you learn about the team today? The way you guys overcame the early deficit and bounced back to win.
I mean, we talk about it all the time that things are going to happen. Everything is not going to go our way. And it's about how do we respond. And I think nobody on the sideline flinched at no point. And, guys was eager to get out there and get the ball rolling, and we did that.
What is it about the second quarter that you find that this team is able to outscore opponents? I think it's like 85 to something, like 13 maybe. I have to double check. But you're outscoring opponents specifically in the second quarter. I know you're not the one on offense playing, but why are you able to be – it seems like you all hit the gas at the same time after that first quarter wraps up.
Guys just chipping away. We know you kind of get a feel of the game in the second quarter, honestly. The first quarter, guys, teams that got that first 15, and then you try to figure out how teams are trying to attack you. And I think we do a good job of adjusting. We do a good job of adjusting ourselves and correcting ourselves, knowing that how teams are trying to attack us.
You want to turn the ball over because it definitely it's a blow to your team. Momentum shift, and then in crucial parts of the game, especially when we need a play. When we was up 20-14, we needed a play. The sign come through, you know what I'm saying? And we just kept stacking them turnovers, and they are very big in big games like this.
Last week, Kevon Wallace said that when you guys.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's gonna continue to keep going. I'm happy that it's happening for him because I know how hard he worked every day. And like I said last week, I thought he was gonna be the guy, him and Sweaty, and he just happened to be the guy. And next thing you know, it could happen from anybody. That's what I love about our D-line. There's so many great pieces, and it's just all about who day it is that day, or if all our days. You know what I'm saying?
Kevon Wallace said last Wednesday, he said that when D-line starts in a game, they're there to hunt and eat. And we got a good description of it, especially after today.
Oh yeah, man. When somebody started off, TJ started off with the one sack, and boy, everybody just hunting and eating. And when we know we up, we know they got to drop back, and they ain't gonna run the ball too much because they trying to preserve the time so that they can catch up. And so that's when we really go hunting. But I think that in order for us to do that, we got to make sure we stopping the run, making sure we taking care of business in that aspect, and just staying together because they're gonna make plays, which they did early, but we stayed together, and we made plays in the end to win.
Did you sense that Lawrence was maybe a little bit rattled, maybe midway through?
You know what? I got so much respect for him, especially being with Doug. I know Doug is great with his quarterbacks, and I know Trevor Lawrence from seeing him from last year to this year, he was way better. I think this was the best offense we've seen so far, and we knew that it was going to be a challenge. But with guys being out, I didn't even realize Slade was out, a lot of guys out, and James Bradberry made a play at the time we really needed a play. Man, I just felt like people stepped up at the right time, and it was just fun to watch, man, and sit back. And, I felt like everybody came together as the pressure started to happen for us.
22 points off of turnovers today. As a guy who doesn't score the points himself, at least usually, what does that mean to you to play on the defensive side of the ball and contribute in that way to this game today?
Well, the offense carries us some games, which they did the first game. And as a defense, we want to make sure we put them in the best position. And that's what we try to do, to make sure we put them in that best position by creating turnovers, shortening the field for them, so that AJ and whoever want to at that time step up. Miles stepped up in a big way today. They ran the ball, which we needed in the rain. But, yeah, we just want to make sure we put them in a great position. And some days it's going to happen like that, where the defense carried the offense and helped them out, just like the offense helps us out by scoring fast and giving us, pass rush opportunities.
Fletcher said that you guys have like a target on your back now, 4-0. So the rest of the league's looking at you. Do you like that?
I feel like we got the team. I feel like we got the team to handle it all. We just got to make sure that it starts with Coach Sirianni, which I know he's gonna make sure he keep pressing the little things, the details, and always. What I love about him is he's not scared to call nobody out, and he calls us out only because we all got goals to be great, and so that's what it's gonna take. That's why we 4-0. I feel, because he's paying attention to them little things that seem to, when you're winning, people don't care about it as much until it costs you in the game, and then it's like, dang, we should make sure. But he's just trying to make sure he keep the level-headed and make sure he keep his team level-headed and enjoy it, but at the same time, let's get back to work, because we ain't nowhere near done, because we ain't got a ring on yet.
To be 4-0 and the only undefeated team in the league, though, at this point, I mean, does that matter to you? How does that make you feel? How do you digest that? What is the mindset like when you're that team in that position?
It's a great start because we want to play postseason, and so we know that these games tend to come back later, where we I'm always been on it, where we got to win these last 5. We got to win these. We just want to give ourselves an opportunity to play in the postseason, and then on top of that, we want to stay healthy. And then, 4-0, we loving it, because it's a part of our goals to win every game, and so we just want to keep stacking these wins and making sure that we don't waver on just the details and just staying together as a team, even through adversity.
As dominant as the defensive line was today, your offensive line was just as dominant when they were on the field. What did you see watching them? That's a pretty impressive Jacksonville front, and they just blew open giant holes, it looked like.
Yeah, I think I heard you talking stuff about us, man. Yeah, I think you said something.
Sure. Let's go with that.
No, but honestly, man, that's stout, man. He's a great coach. On top of, we got great coaches on the offensive side, and just all the minds together, working together, and we had backups in too. That's what even better. We got depth in the show. Just even with Driscoll going in, Opeta, we had some injuries in there, which I hope that them boys come back, get ready for next week. I don't think it was too serious for a lot of guys, but it's just good to see that we got depth, and the technique was working for the guys. And man, 200 plus rushing yards. I was happy for Miles. Finally got a breakout game for him, and I just hope he just keeps stacking them wins for himself. And I just think that it started up front, especially in a situation like this where it's raining, it's nasty out. You need to make sure you protect the ball, and you need to be able to run the ball in the conditions too. So it just shows us that we can always lean on the run when we got to. And it just showed that it's just motivating for us to keep going.
I just started running and I saw we had the ball, and I was excited. I really didn't know who got it out. I just knew we got it out as a whole.
What did you think of, I know you're worried about yourself, but the younger guys out there today, Josiah and Zach?
They did good. They was able to step up when they needed to. And, of course, it wasn't planned for them to be the starting guys going into the game at the beginning of the week, but they stepped up. And they did a great job for us.
What do you guys do to prepare those young guys to be ready?
Really, I just try to be detailed with my work throughout the week. I'm hoping they're paying attention. Whatever questions they have, I try to answer them. And our coaches, they do a good job of getting us all ready. So, they have the notes. They have pretty much a list of what all the opponent's going to do when we get the game day.
How do you prepare for a game like this in which you know it could be super troublesome for an opposing offense and take advantage the way you did?
It's all about your mindset when you get out there. You know, the rain, the snow, sleet, it's part of the game, you know, especially when we have an outdoor field. And we're just trying to make it work to our advantage, you know.
Can you take us through the interception?
Yeah, so I was at number 1. It was 3-by-1. I saw 2 do a wheel route behind number 1. 1 did a post route. And I just kind of tried to play in between the 2, and then I just broke on the ball and then caught it when they got to me.
How does the film study come into play there? Is that something you saw on tape where you're kind of like, all right, I know it's coming, or?
Yeah, I didn't even see that play on tape, but I've had a play like that run against him before. So I guess you can say that was just an experience play that I was able to kind of reminisce. Yeah, they kind of reminisce from my old play back in the day.
The white question to ask is how the Giants let that man walk out that building. That's the question you got to
Do you
ask.
have a response to that, James?
That's the question.
Yeah, you got to ask the Giants that.
You got to ask the
I
Giants that question.
don't know.
That's the question. How you let that man out the building right there?
We'll see.
We appreciate him though.
What is it about the red zone defense where you guys, Slade had a couple takes back in the Vikings game, you had the big one today. What is it about that inside the 20 you guys buckle down?
Well, the red zone, that's an important part of the game. You know, it's kind of its own separate game plan that you got to get ready for when it's time to go out there. But you never want to let people score points on you. So as they get closer down there, we just try to lock in even more and just know we got to make a play.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helped. Definitely being able to run and get my footing down. Whatever the weather is, whatever the game plan is, where the coach is called, just try to execute. I know I got a lot of stuff to clean up. First out will help me back.
That was horrible. It was horrible. Like third quarter, I got really cold. Yeah, really cold. I'm from the south, so I'm still adjusting. And we got rain and cold weather. You can hear it in my voice. Like, still kind of cold, but yeah.
Feel good though, 4-0. Yeah, everything's clicking and working.
Yeah, man, I'm so proud of this team. Like we learned about each other today as a team. We went down early. Like I said, nobody missed a beat. Nobody, folded. And that's what we needed. We need to be tested. And we're gonna keep, use this game as momentum and keep moving forward.
Was this the most important win because of that?
Oh hell yeah! I'm sorry. Yeah, because of the conditions. They're a good football team. They was playing good football, and we both had to go through it. But we need to face adversity. You don't want to be riding high and nothing has challenged you yet. Everybody can say that they doing it or they coming along when stuff is going good. Like we want to be tested. You want to see how he is when your back is against the wall.
AJ, when everyone talks about offseason additions, they mention you and Hassan. What do you think of the big boy on the other side?
Hassan, he's balling today. He's balling, man. He's a great pickup for this team. I know he's a hard worker. You know how he come to work. You know how he prepare. So I'm glad to see it all manifest.
If you had scored again, would you have done the same celebration?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, yeah. it counted in my book.
It was kind of a long week for you, though. How were you feeling?
I'm good. We got this tough win. I'm good. I'm about to go home to the family. Hey, I got no complaints.
How much were you guys able to stick to the game plan you had coming into this one versus how much you'd have to adjust when you saw just how difficult those conditions ended up being today?
Oh, that was the game plan. That was it. We didn't switch it up at all. Coach came over there early, said make sure you got the right stuff on, cleats, gloves, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because we still gonna do what we do. So
we saw what the defense was able to do to Trevor Lawrence and the Jags offense. How many turnovers they were able to force, how many points they were able to force off of turnovers. What do you think that speaks to in terms of what you guys were able to prevent from happening to you?
Like hats off to our defense. They keep showing up over and over again, and they slowed down a really good football team, good quarterback, receivers, and so hats off to our guys. Keep showing up.
What about Miles Sanders? What do you say about Miles Sanders getting out?
Miles had a great game. Yeah. I was telling him earlier, man, make the most of these opportunities because today is really a running back day. The weather. So I was like, make the most of it, and he did exactly that.
You're the last.
Very big week for you, becoming a dad again. How is everything with the fam? You guys are good? Everything adjusted?
Everybody good. Everybody healthy. Yeah.